Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 12 of Leagues Daily, where every day we'll be going over the new reveals leading up to the release of Leagues 4. And today we have a new relic in a beautiful new color, and that's the Ruinous Powers. Alright, so this has been confirmed to be a new relic. This is the Ruinous Powers, and you're going to be channeling the power of a fallen empire. And while we don't have all the information, I think it is really clear and obvious this is going to be the Ruinous Powers Prayerbook. So, for those that don't know, this was an alternate prayer book that was originally proposed with Desert Treasure 2, but unfortunately that got scrapped in favor of some other ideas, and it looks like they're just going to take that and bring it into the game for Leagues. Okay, and while we don't know the exact details, I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it's going to be very similar, if not exactly the same as the proposed prayer book for Desert Treasure 2. Okay, and really the big ones that are going to shake things up, we got Decimate, Annihilate, and Vaporize. These are melee, ranged, and magic respectively. This gives you 25% attack and 27% strength to your melee, and that just blows Piety out of the water. So that's actually a pretty huge change to anyone who's planning on going melee and was kind of on the fence about choosing to go for Kandarin and getting Piety there. 27% strength is a huge upgrade over ultimate strength, which is like 15%. And Kandarin is not a zone that's great for melee when you have to do things like Kraken, so I really feel like if you are going for a melee setup, this is such a great opportunity to still get that offensive buff and really take your damage over the top without having to sacrifice the content and the regions that you pick just to get Piety from Kandarin. In addition, Annihilate the range relic is going to give you 27% range strength, which is even better than Rigour from the Chambers of Zarek. And I know a lot of people were planning on going down a range route and specifically picking the Chambers of Zarek to get Rigour. And this is important because Rigour was the only ranged prayer that actually increased your damage. So really, you were sacrificing a lot of damage by not going for Zeah. And now you can just throw all those plans away and you can kind of pick whatever region you want. Maybe you're going to go Fremennik instead and get an Avas. Maybe you're just going to pick whatever sounds the most fun. But now if you wanted that really powerful ranged prayer, just pick the Ruinous Powers instead and use Annihilate. And finally, for our magic users, while the magic prayers are typically kind of weak, Vaporize also gives you 4% magic damage, which is a nice little bonus. Remember that ancestral pieces each give 2%, so this is like 2/3 of an ancestral set. And if you're using the shadow, that gets a bonus of tripling your percentage damage, so it's actually going to go up to 12%. Now, I'm sure people are going to find some interesting uses for a lot of the prayers. However, personally, I'm excited for Metabolize, which allows you to attack one tick earlier after eating food. I think this might pair really nicely with the special attack relic that drains your health. That way you can eat food faster and continue spending more special attacks. Now, personally, I've been planning on going a mage route, so I don't think this is going to completely change my plans, but I know that I completely threw out doing range just because I didn't really want to go do Chambers of Zarek and go get Rigour. And now that's actually on the table now, so I might have to seriously consider if I wanted to do range, what my 3 regions would be. Because now I don't have to do a boring zone to get a really powerful prayer. I can just skip that and just kind of do whatever I want, which really is, that's the point of Leagues. You never want to be sacrificing your fun just to do more power, and now you can just get the best of both worlds. I know that for a lot of people going down a melee route, you've been dreading the idea of picking Kandarin basically just to get Piety, and now you can really just go wherever. So maybe you're going to go a melee path and go for like the Desert and Mauritania and Chambers of Zarek, going for all 3 raids now. To me, this just really opens up a lot of the restrictions that came from those prayers, and I love that they did that. It's actually such a smart decision to include this and allow people to swap up what their regions are going just by choosing this one really powerful relic. And it's not like the prayers are bad either. They're really powerful and they're upgrades over the prayer itself. Additionally, I'm always excited to see brand new content coming to Leagues. Again, this was scrapped from the main game, so introducing this into Leagues is just really, really awesome. It's kind of like the hard mode challenges where I just love to see like new content coming to Leagues because it makes me so much more optimistic for the future of the game modes as a whole when they're willing to experiment and actually like kind of use it as like a sandbox or as like a play test of some features that might be a little bit too broken to just add into the main game directly. Finally, this is really tossing up a lot of people's impressions of what the relics are actually going to be. I know the crack theorists out there are having their entire worldview thrown out. However, my guess is because there's a special purple glow here and it's based around Zaros, I think the final tier is going to be a god affiliation. You're going to pick one of the gods to get their power from. And we've already seen like a Zamorak-based relic with their horns. So this could mean maybe we get Saradomin, maybe we're going to get Bandos as well. And it really could be this crazy last choice that you have to pick. I think so many people are locked to the idea of 3 relics per tier. So throwing in a tier that might have like 5 or 6 decisions, I think that would just be such a great finale to Leagues. And throughout your entire Leagues journey, you're always going to be building up to that final decision of what god you want to sacrifice your soul to. And while I apologize I don't have all the information right now, I know that a lot of this is speculation. We're just days, if not, honestly, we're counting down the hours until Leagues comes out. So all of that information is going to be revealed really, really soon. I know that's why they're drip feeding this, just to really get those last levels of hype out. Also, I believe there are some more news about Last Recall coming out later today. So hopefully we'll see some updates as to how you get Last Recall, because I know that that's going to definitely affect how I choose my relics based on just how powerful Last Recall actually ends up being. Remember that all of us are going to have access to Last Recall. It's not going to be a choice that you have to make. So let me know if you're going to be choosing Zaros as your god. For my ranged users out there, is this going to be enough to drop the Chambers of Zarek? And for all my melee gang, what are we replacing Kandarin with? Because let's be real, nobody wants to go there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.